All right, let's get into this. We've got quite a bit here, all focused on the latest Liverpool transfer buzz. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Recent reports, some interesting excerpts looking particularly at, well, potential summer signings. And Milos Kerkez is popping up a lot.
Right. So the plan for the deep dive then is let's try and unpack what these sources are saying, figure out why this potential move for Kerkez matters, and, how it fits with Arne Slot's plans.
Okay, so the core news, the main thing these reports are pushing is that Liverpool are apparently in advanced talks. We were talking about signing Milos Kerkez, the 21-year-old Hungarian left-back from Bournemouth.
Advanced talks, okay. And a lot of this seems to be leaning on Fabrizio Romano's updates. Gives us a kind of snapshot.
It does, and the reports get quite specific based on that. They're saying personal terms, already agreed with Kerkez, done deal on that side.
Okay, wow. That's usually a pretty big step sorted.
And the contract itself is apparently ready to go, just needs signing, basically.
And what about the player's view? I saw something about him being quite keen.
Yeah, very keen. The reports use phrases like, really convinced by Slot's project, apparently can't wait to become a Liverpool player. So, yeah, sounds like he's pushing for it.
Right. That certainly helps things along, doesn't it? That player buy-in.
Definitely. And the general sort of feeling mentioned in the reports is very positive about this moving forward, behind the scenes, suggests there's some real momentum there.
Okay, so player side sounds well sorted, but there's always the other part, isn't there? The club part.
Absolutely. And that's the main thing now, according to these sources. The discussions between Liverpool and Bournemouth, they need to agree on a fee. That's the sticking point.
The fee, right, makes sense. So why Kerkez specifically? What makes him stand out for Liverpool based on these reports?
Well, he's widely seen as one of the most promising young left backs in Europe. And his season for Bournemouth, the one just gone, 24-25. Really strong.
Strong is putting it mildly, isn't it? The stats here say he started every Premier League game.
Every single one. And chipped in two goals, 5 assists from left back. That's serious consistency and output for a 21-year-old in this league.
Yeah.
Helped Bournemouth to 9th, too.
Yeah, you can see why clubs be looking. So how does this fit into the Liverpool picture? Is it about Robertson?
That seems to be the angle, yeah.
Yeah.
The sources frame him as a potential long-term successor. Robertson's 31 now. Contract running down a bit, just over a year left.
Right, so maybe thinking about that transition phase, Robertson perhaps moving into a different role eventually.
Potentially, yeah. Maybe more of a backup or rotation, bringing in someone young, Premier League proven like Kerkez. It makes a lot of sense for the future. And there's also mention that Tsimikas might leave, which would open up that spot.
Okay, so securing that position long term. And these reports suggest he's not the only target Liverpool are actively working on.
No, definitely not. It's part of a wider picture. The sources mention Jeremy Frimpong from Leverkusen. He's actually tipped to be maybe the first one through the door this summer.
Ah, Frimpong too, okay.
And Florian Wirtz, also from Leverkusen, is another name that keeps coming up in connection with Liverpool's plans. So quite a bit potentially happening.
Right. So just to kind of wrap up the core points from these sources on Kerkez, deal seems to be moving, personal terms done, player is very keen, sounds like he wants the Slot project.
Yeah.
But that fee with Bournemouth is still pending.
Exactly. Which really leads to the question for you listening, doesn't it? What does this push for Kerkez and maybe Frimpong or Wirtz, these young dynamic players? What does it signal about Liverpool's direction under Arne Slot? It feels like a shift.
Yeah, it does feel like a refresh, perhaps. And maybe a final thought to leave you with, but if these kinds of deals go through, how might this influx of, younger talent change things? Not just the squad list, but the actual dynamics on the pitch, the tactics, how Liverpool might look next season, something to ponder.